Right, welcome back. This is episode 15 of my GGBO build. Now, already mentioned in the last video as to why I look very different. My hair's down for a change. I'm not going to bore you with all that details again. I'll probably pop in the description because, you know, it's funny. But what this episode is, I finally start on the staining, as I mentioned. Now, what I do in this one is I stain the American Ash and the neck all black. Now, I sand it back, which is part of my process, and I explain that later on through the video. Now, towards the end, you will notice that the neck itself doesn't get sanded. Now, during my editing process, I watch the footage back for the neck, and I sanded it back, and then I moved straight onto the next stage. Now, I could have edited it. I could have, cut that bit out, added it into the next video, but I wanted a bit more continuity. I wanted it to be a continuous flow. So I've still decided just to keep sanding the neck back in the next video. So you will see that. But I'm going to start showing you the footage of me getting this guitar stained black. So I'll talk to you soon. So I just watched that footage back, and in comparison to these lights that are behind the camera, the ones on that bench over there, they're a little bit different, so they're not this, nice, warm, bright white. They're a little bit blue, so what I was doing, it was going a bit weird on the footage. So I've decided to just move everything around. I'm going to come on this side. So I've got everything set up. Here's my plan. This is what I'm going to use to apply my stain. And obviously I've got that laid on there, just to protect the bench. I'm going to start with the Crimson Stunning Stains Black. But because I'm having to, sorry, I'm trying to think about it on the top of my head. The top is not having any black. So I think the easiest option is going to be, if I do this area where the ash is showing through, so I'll do that in black. Do around the edges. And then I can flip it over, do the back, maybe. Not sure. What I can do is, whilst these areas are drying, I can move that to one side and I can do my neck, because the neck and the ash are having black on them. The Zebrano isn't. So that's going to be interesting, because I've got to be careful of this line here. But, worst case scenario, I can always sand it back. Anyway, I'm going to chuck my tunes on and get some gloves on. So, actually, yeah, before I do that... Oh, man, what do you think you're doing? You're about to ruin the whole surprise. So, I've realised in the post-editing of this particular section, I almost reveal my my plan in this moment. So, what I've done is, I've decided to record this daft little bit. I've sped the rest of the footage up, so I'm not sat here talking forever. So, I can skip over this, because I didn't feel like cutting that little bit out, because, you know me, I'd much rather it be one continuous flow. So, here comes the rest of the staining, and I'll talk to you soon. You forgot a step, Scott. I'm going to sand the edges back. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah. Anyway, enough trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do it. Get my tunes hooked up, get my gloves on. Let's get cracking. Not the end of the world if I catch the Zebrano, because it's going to get sanded, so it's all good. Anywho. you tell that I'm not worried about getting on the Zebrano anymore, because I realise you're going to sand it back anyway, so, and it's not that bad, to be fair, having it in that area. It'll add to the contrast. Like, there's no point getting worried about it not being perfect, because, you know, it doesn't have to be. I quite like the look of this already. Anyway. Apparently the transmitter's died again. Oh well. Okay, I think I'm going to call it quits there for the black. I was going to jump straight onto doing the neck, but with that transmitter dying, I am just going to switch it around, get rid of this. No, I don't need to get rid of it. But wow, that looks amazing. I'm so happy with it. Because the back needed a lot more coverage than anything else. So you can see these areas here. This is something that's going to need a lot more attention, but this is just the first coat. I mean, this is actually like the most I've used this bottle for. Like, you can see all this. This is obviously where I've glued and, you know, sawdust it. So once I add more paint, more stain into this is probably going to, well, it should disappear, but I just love the look of this. So basically this bit here, this is what happened on like all of the edges of my practice one, but yeah, I mean, that just looks awesome. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to pause the footage here, switch some stuff around, and go and pop that air transmitter on charge. So I'm back. So the Bluetooth transmitter is on charge. I've decided, obviously I'm going to let that dry a little bit, but I've also gone inside and grabbed a load of these. So these are just little paint brushes, because what I thought is there was little areas where it's, you know, chunked and chipped away and whatnot. I could use a paintbrush to get in those, and also the areas around the recessed covers. Anyway, for now though, I'm going to do the neck. So I think smartest option, I'm going to do the front first. Now obviously my Bluetooth transmitter has died, so I've not got any tunes, but to be fair, I don't really need them to enjoy this, so let's get cracking with it. Oh, before I carry on, so what I can do is as well, I can also use the paintbrush to paint inside this bit as well. But yeah, I'm probably going to figure that one out anyway. Let's crack on with this. can see there, look. In fact, no. Try again, Scott. So, headstock in the back of the neck, and now an even coat of black. So what I was thinking, I stopped myself when I was saying I was going to when I was going to paint the inside of this. I'm thinking of trying to make... Can you guess what I talked about in this section again? I really wish I noticed this earlier on. Obviously this is going to get sanded back and add the effect that I want to it, but obviously if I can stand inside there, I'd be impressed. But that's going to be a thought for another day. Yeah, because I'm probably going to do the same on the inside of the cavities. Anyway, I'm going to pause footage here and switch over and grab the body again. And I will be back with you shortly. Yeah, so I've just done a test with this black paint with a paintbrush. Black stain, and wow. Sure happens. So you see these areas where I've not done much to it. And then puts a layer of black stain on it, which looks really cool. And there we go. So yeah, so I'm not worried about like the areas where I can see like a little bit of the natural wood coming through, but I'm sanding these back anyway. What I'm worried about is these bits, so I'm just curious as to what it does. Oh, there we go, that works. So using the cloth, didn't want to go into where the areas were, but you can see there, look, already, I don't try and brush it away too much. So I had to dry it over top of it, so I'm just going to try and add a little bit more to that bit that I've just brushed away and let it do its thing. So I'm going to do those on these few areas that I can before flipping it over. So it's a lot better than it was. You probably, I mean slightly. I might have just wasted my time with that, but oh no, they are better than they were, especially those areas. Not that noticeable once I sand it. Like it's on the underside, the top side. You know, the colour change will help it. Anyway, that's enough of that. Get this bad boy sanded with some 120. that is pretty much where I wanted it. Oh wow. And let's put a different glove on, that one's ripped. Anyway, whew, I need to cool off a little bit, but before I do that, get rid of this lot. There you go, look. So that's what I was going for. So it's very... There we go. So I flipped over to the side. I won't have any sawdust on, don't worry. Yeah, so... that's what I was going for. So it's like almost black. Yeah, I mean, it's very... because what it's doing is, obviously this is sort of mimicking the darkness of this when it gets stained. So yeah, so like I say, I'm just going to go in there, cool off a little bit, wash my hands a tiny bit as well because I've got a stain all over them. And then I'm going to come back and do the same thing on the neck. So, I'll be back with you shortly. There you have it. I was in disbelief when this happened. Like, I know that I've done a lot of test staining and practices and, you know, figuring out this process, but it amazes me every single time. I've only ever really worked with solid paint. So a lot of my guitars have always been like spray finish, spray lacquer, all that kind of stuff, and it's been one solid colour. Now obviously I've gone a bit extreme and done like my Randy Rhoads build where I did the blood splatter, same with my SPH1 Mark II. But, you know, there was nothing like this. The only guitar that I own that is like this is my ESP LTD, the F100 FM, which is the Flame Maple. But obviously that's not a guitar I did myself, and I didn't see the process, and yeah, I absolutely loved this staining process. But anyway, that's enough digression, that's enough, you know, talking about random stuff. I lose track of myself sometimes, but yeah, it was really fun to do. But that is the end of this episode. So I will be moving on to episode 16, which was the next stage of this. So, as I said in the beginning, you will see me sanding back the neck at the beginning of that. I just wanted to keep that together for continuity's sake. It just made more sense. And it reduced the length of this video down and helped lengthen the other one, so it worked out a lot. But yeah, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. That will be episode 16. Sorry, I've got a list of like what I needed to redo. I'm not gonna lie, I had to write myself a list of like the new episodes and stuff. But anyway, I keep digressing. What am I doing? If you enjoy the video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share it amongst your friends, and all that lovely fun stuff. Because any help growing this channel is greatly appreciated. As always, my social links are down in the description below. So I have my Facebook and Instagram. Feel free to follow me on those, and I also link the GGBO website in the description below so that you can follow my journey on there. But please follow anybody else in this competition. They are making some truly amazing stuff and they deserve your support. So click the link below, go onto the forum or go into the categories, whichever you choose, and you'll be able to see the stuff that they're doing. They are creating some fantastic instruments. That's all I've got to say. So, keep your eyes peeled for the next episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next.